Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is October the 1st. It's 8 o'clock, or actually 8:03. This is your evening tropical update. We do this every night here on Plus. First of all, just begin with what's going on out here. Imelda is Cat 2, racing off to the northeast, so now moving away from the east coast. So the threat continues to reduce. The surf will be dropping along the Carolinas, where they had a lot of erosion, had some homes fall down over the past 48 hours from the waves from both the systems, Imelda and Umberto. Umberto's off the board now. It's been ripped apart by the upper level winds. But what is new is this new spot here in the main development region. So this just went on the board early this evening from the Hurricane Center. There's a wave that's about to come off the west coast. They're going to give it a 20% chance it develops in here. As we move along, we'll take a look at the computer modeling on Imelda and on that long range in just a second. You'll notice that, again, for the moment, Carib and the Gulf don't have any potential development for the moment. We will continue to take this one day at a time. We are still in statistically the busy part of hurricane season, even though it peaked on September the 10th, and we've come down the backside of the peak. Here we are, October the 1st. And in October, you can have quite a bit of activity. So we're still up there, but after the end of October, it really drops off quickly as far as the chances for having a tropical system. And this time of year, you can still get them anywhere. Warm water is abundant in the Carib, in the Gulf, off the east coast of the U.S., and in the main development region. So it's all open for business. So far, though, it's been relatively quiet for the Carib and the Gulf. Will it stay that way? We're just going to have to continue to take it one day at a time. Things can change as we get into this deeper into the second half of the season. Now, so far, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 storms. So we're more than halfway to Pablo. That would give us 16 storms. That's what the Colorado State University folks were forecasting would be the final tally for storm count names this season. Of these, almost all the tropical storms all remain very little, very, very weak. All of these were short-lived. The hurricanes that developed have all been strong. Aaron went to Cat 5, Gabrielle went to Cat 4, Umberto went Cat 5. Imelda is a 2. Imelda may be the only hurricane so far this season that doesn't become a major hurricane. So we've had 3 major hurricanes now. That is actually the forecast total that Colorado State University folks thought we would have. They thought we'd have 3 majors. Normal is 3. We've had 3. We're at 9 named storms now. So 9 of 16 are down, and we've had 4 hurricanes now. So halfway to the hurricane count. And again, sea surface temperature plenty warm. I mean, it is bath water. 90 in the West Carib, upper 80s in the Gulf, upper 80s off the East Coast in the Bahamas, mid-80s, above mid-80s across the main development region. That's where that new 20% spot is that we'll take a closer look at here in just a little bit. And once again, the tropical outlook, Imelda Cat 2, and again, that spot that we'll look at there coming off the Carib. Here it is on the satellite. Imelda is feeling the shear now, so it's not going to be strengthening from this point. It is Cat 2, but winds won't get any stronger. We have 1 active wave here in the central Atlantic. That's not showing any signs of development. And before we get to Imelda, going over to the west coast of Africa, so you can see all the thunderstorm activity here. This is what will become our next tropical wave, and the Hurricane Center says it will be this wave that comes off the coast in a couple of days that will have a chance of developing once it gets into that spot in the main development region. Okay, there's Imelda, Cat 2, being sheared as it races northeast. It's going to give a good windy, rainy night to Bermuda. And then Umberto was here, completely ripped apart, and is now technically off the board, but I left on what there is of it. That's where the last update was from the Hurricane Center. It's now just a remnant low being sheared apart. There is Cat 2 Imelda about to go right across Bermuda, so wind and rain, Cat 2 hurricane Bermuda. You guys get a lot of that, but that's what you're looking at as far as we go through the evening, and then off it goes into the east and up into the North Atlantic, north of the Azores, that eventually will become a wind maker for Great Britain as we head into the middle of next week. And at the moment, nothing more threatening the East Coast. So the modeling on this, so if you've been with us, you watch this, we quite often will run these models. We don't run them simultaneously. This is the GFS, the American model in red, and in black we run the European model. And when you see the two, the red and the black, right on top of each other, basically it's got the same solution for this Imelda, which is going to cross over the island of Bermuda tonight and then race into the North Atlantic. So that takes us through tonight all the way into the end of the weekend, Sunday. So then our attention will turn to what may or may not happen out here in the main development region with this wave coming off the west coast of Africa. Through Sunday, neither the American nor the Euro develop anything out here. However, we're going to go further out in time. Now, this will take us out 10 days or so. And remember, when we get this far out 8, 9, 10 days, you have to take these long-range forecasts with a grain of salt. They will change from run to run. But this is where we stand this evening. By the time we get into next Wednesday, so a week from today, the European in red begins to cut off a low. So it picks up on that wave and slowly develops it here. It's far to the south. The Euro does not find it at all. And then we go further in time, and the American model gets aggressive with developing some sort of tropical system, more than a week away from now, and puts it here, perhaps threatening the islands. The Euro does not form anything. So again, we have to take these long-range runs with a grain of salt. Will there be a storm here? It's really too early to tell. But it doesn't hurt to take a look at the long range just to remember that this time of the year you can still get tropical storms and hurricanes, especially ones that would threaten the greater and lesser Antilles Islands and the Bahamas and the Caribbean. So it's something we'll need to watch as we take the next several days to just keep a look at to see what's going to happen out there as far as that 20% is concerned. Nothing forming in the Caribbean during that time period, just a long straight line as far as an isobar. Gulf of Mexico stays quiet. Could be some activity off the west coast of Mexico in the Pacific. All right, Houston, Thursday's numbers, summertime. Man, summer continues. So we're going to go to 92 on Thursday with a 10% chance for an isolated shower. And then look at this extended. It is summer. Highs near 90. Lows come up a bit, near 70 the next several mornings, and then low to mid-70s for lows going into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is a sure indication that the humidity is coming up, as is the daily rain chance that we'll reintroduce. We'll go to a 30% chance for a scattered shower or thunder shower as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Very summer-like pattern returns as we head into October. That is where we stand. Our next live broadcast on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock on the TV side and on Plus. We'll see you then.